say Kevin Hart, and then his comment that he wrote after that, and I'm just like, this is crazy. So after that, then like House of Highlights and all of these other like pages with millions of followers or whatever start posting the Cream Bigums video, and then after that, I was just like, this seemed like this could be a character. Now Cream Bigums has like over 200,000 followers, and he was in NBA Live 19.
Oh my God!
With an overall rating of 89, one higher than Magic Johnson. It was crazy, man. It is unbelievable.
Would you say that Kevin Hart's the most famous person that's given you recognition, or if not him, who would you say is the most famous person to retweet or post one of your videos on social media?
Yeah, maybe Kevin Hart and maybe The Rock. Because, I did season 2 of Ballers. I did 3 episodes, and he's a great guy. He's a more talkative Brian Urlacher.
Really?
Yeah, like he's just real down to earth. Like you can talk to him about anything. Like he doesn't take himself too serious. I mean, he's a mega star.
Yeah.
But he's just real cool. He's just like, hey, Spice, so tell me about Lovey. Like, how was he as a coach? Like, or he'll just be like, hey, man, how you feel with your lines? Like, you want to go over your lines real fast? Like, do you feel comfortable in saying this and that? And I'm like, what?
Wow.
He's just a real cool dude.
Wow.
Real cool dude, man. Even this. So my frat brother, his wife is a huge Dwayne Johnson fan. She's like, my frat brother's like, is there any way you can get him to do a video, man? Like, this is a stab in the dark. Her birthday's coming up. She's turning, 35 or 40 or whatever it was. And so I'm like, all right, I'll ask. See what he says. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do my duty. So I asked. That was it. Next thing you know, he sends me the video.
Come on.
And I'm like, what? He's driving in a car. He's like, this is dangerous to do, but I'm going to do this for my friend Spice. Hey, Gloria, whatever, blah, 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 happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? Wow. So needless to say, he is a pretty cool dude.
Oh, man, that is awesome. Who did you look up to comedy-wise? Because you are such a physical comedian. You said Saturday Night Live. You were a big fan of SNL growing up. Who were your comedic inspirations?
Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and then, like, Martin Lawrence could do no wrong. Like, Martin Lawrence, for me, was like the next Eddie Murphy. Like, after Eddie Murphy, then it was like Martin Lawrence for me in my era. So, watching him and then him having his own show and then Def Comedy Jam and everything, like that was the best. And then, so after Martin for me is like Chris Rock and then Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah. Well, all of those guys have characters, too. So is there any chance that Spice Adams, the special, is going to be coming out with all your characters and your sketch comedy?
Yeah, right.
Come on!
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. That would be fun. I would love to do that. I have a production company, so maybe something like that could happen.
Yeah, well, I'll help you out with it.
See.
You can take the idea, and I'll help you. I'll work on it. I'll be a producer. I've got a lot of free time these days.
You do?
Hey,
I appreciate it, but that would be real cool. That'd be really cool.
Anthony, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the Sportscaster and Her Son. I have one last question because my son does not think I'm funny, and he doesn't believe that
You're hilarious.
I think I'm pretty funny. I think I'm pretty funny. And
you got it. Did you show him the one with you and Pat Manley? That was hilarious.
I know. See, he doesn't think I'm funny at all. But do your kids think you're funny?
Yeah,
they do.
They do. And sometimes it helps me, and sometimes it hurts me.
That's right. That's right, because they won't take you seriously, right?
Right. It's more hurt than help.
I know. Well, thank you again. We really appreciate it. Jason, when I told him, hey, let's get Anthony Adams, they were like,
I was so excited.
Yeah.
Are you a hype?
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
my comedy is for everybody.
Yes, it is.
And then the thing is, if you turn on one of my videos on Instagram, you can play it as loud as you want in the office. It's office friendly.
You're right. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was playing one of your videos this morning, and my husband walked by, saw it on the computer, and just started laughing. It makes everybody laugh because you do the stuff that everybody does to be like stupid funny, but you actually have the nerve to pull it off, and it's brilliant. I love it, and I'm so proud of you and everything that you've done with your post-football career. Keep it going, Spice. We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So Anthony Adams actually did a Flat Stanley story for me at NBC. Jason, what grade were you and your twin brother in when you did Flat Stanley?
I was in second grade, and I remember my class didn't really do the Flat Stanley thing, but his class did it, and we actually had like a job day at school where a lot of parents would come and advertise their jobs, and you came, and you just set up the TV and kept playing the Flat Stanley thing, and I think you had by far the most kids over at yours. I don't know if it was a mix between Bears, and they were good back then.
But it was Anthony Adams that.
Oh yeah, for
Anthony
sure.
Adams and Lovie Smith, and they all.
I think Jay Cutler was in it.
Jay
for a little
Cutler
bit.
did a little bit where he actually walked over. He stepped on Flat Stanley when they were running off the field. So Anthony Adams is. It's great to see his success. It's been awesome. Let's talk about your predictions now. What should we look forward to here in the future, Jason?
Okay, so we're still several weeks out from the MLB playoffs. I just want to say this because I don't want it to sound like I'm saying this and it already happened. I think the Mets are going to make the playoffs. They've been red hot. I think it's like 15 out of their last 16 games they've won. So I'm going to ride the Mets wave here. Moving to more personal side, I think I'm going to get all my college ads done before school starts. Everyone's telling me it's impossible. It's really not. Pretty short. Just got to put your heart into it.
How many are you doing?
I'm doing 12.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not that bad. And then actually I'm going to stick to school, and I'm going to say that by the end of the weekend I get my other summer reading book done.
By the end of the weekend.
Yeah. I think... Yeah, I'm pretty confident I should get it done.
Okay. All right. And now my final thought. I, for one, think that you should laugh every day. Honestly, good, hearty laughing is so good for you. I love to watch the comedy roasts on Comedy Central. I watched Wanda Sykes recently. I used to love watching Lisa Lampanelli because she always kind of found a way to incorporate some athletes at her shows.
I remember she was on a Celebrity Apprentice.
And we believe that there was actually a local Bears tie-in one time, but I'm not certain. That had us all laughing very hard. I grew up watching Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball, and I would sneak downstairs to watch Saturday Night Live when I was a kid because my parents hated us watching it. They thought it was dirty comedy. Eddie Murphy, Gilda Radner, it was the best. Lately, I've been watching some of the old Chris Rock stand-up. Very, very funny. If you look back from 5 years ago, it's absolutely hysterical. I listen to Kevin Hart when I'm working out. And these days, I have found that there is a blurred line with comedy and sports. And the reason that we like comedy is because quite often they cross the line and they say things that we would never say in public. They tackle the taboo, right? As long as it's done in the vein of comedy, that's when I think it's okay. When it's not okay is when some sports sites kind of cross that line saying that they're being funny and they are treated as mainstream, almost like sports media. That's where it gets bad because the public... You got to know better than to expect all sports media sites to be journalistic. Some are just meant for entertainment, and it's okay to laugh at that, but do keep them separate. Understand that they are comedians, they're not reporters, and appreciate for those of us who are reporters and are giving you the facts, that's what we do. That's our jobs. And those who are there to entertain you, that's what they are doing. Sports journalism gives us truths. Sports comedy makes us laugh, and it's okay sometimes if it makes us cringe. It's comedy. We need both. We don't need both trying to be the other. Our thanks to Anthony Adams. You can follow him on YouTube and Twitter at Spice Adams or his website, spiceadams.com. Thank you to TNT and the Chicago Blackhawks for our audio clips and all the others that we have found. Thanks to Adam Yaffe for his amazing support and expertise in driving the podcast. Our artwork and logo is designed by Shay Conander. Please subscribe to our podcast, The Sportscaster and Her Son, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Apple, really wherever you listen. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and thesportscasterandherson.com.
You can find my stories on Fanside and my mom's on NBCChicago.com. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, guys. The Sportscaster and Her Son is brought to you by Electroflex, a global leader in electrical conduit for over 60 years. Makers of Liquidite flexible conduit, electrically connecting our world.